The sun's back out. Yay! Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic. This is Brain Snob, episode 36. How can you neutralize certain memories so they don't damage your immune system and set you up for chronic disease? Is that even true? What am I talking about? Well, first, let me introduce you to the Brain Snob episodes. This is episode 36. And I want everybody to become a brain snob. Why? It's not an insult. It's a high compliment. It means you know a lot about your brain so that you can give yourself amazing life experiences. After all, a burdened brain is a disease magnet, not to mention lost talent. And we need every one of you. We need all of you participating. A performing brain can change the world. So I want you to make your life. We started with the brain. The brain makes your body. The brain is the spinal cord and the brain. Let's start at the top. It is the master system. When you come into the office, you'll get your BFA template and your BFA roadmap for the healing journey. And what is BFA? Brain first always. It's my protocol I add to the chiropractic experience when you come into the office. And it gives you a great head start for brain functioning, brain performance. But I find it interesting how the emotions are tied to the memories in our amygdala and hippocampus. Let me say that again. Amygdala and hippocampus. Those are part of the limbic system way, way back here in the brain that are involving emotion and memory. They're tied together and stored in the brain, so when you have to call on your survival mechanism to get you out of danger, to protect you from threat and trauma, we know the limbic system will kick in gear very quickly because it has learned over time, every time you store a memory in your limbic system. Storing those memories help you survive. But sometimes they get out of control. Sometimes we're a little bit they're overwhelming. Sometimes we have an over-exaggerated body response. And it's not necessarily needed for the what we think is survival. Modern living has changed the whole concept of stress and trauma and threat and danger. Our body hasn't changed with the times. Our body will think danger is just plain danger. And that's how our bodies get harmed. We inflict more injury on ourselves because the nervous system just never gets to rest. It never gets to reset back to homeostasis. And that's what burdens our tissue reserve and takes away our tissue resilience. So we want to have efficient healing, fast healing, and we want the body to be able to reset back to normal in a normal amount of time. Stress is supposed to be short-lived. However, it's not anymore in our modern lifestyle. We've got to counteract that, definitely. And we can neutralize certain memories. I'm going to talk about some examples to help you understand that, so you can have you can participate more in your brain functioning. But MIT did some studies, and you can find the studies yourself if you Google certain terms, because I didn't make a copy, pages and pages, and I just didn't want to do that. I'm going to give you the short version, my translated version. But Google MIT rat experiments, manipulated rats' neurons, reverse emotional association. Google that and you will find this study. But they were able to manipulate the memories of rats and then subject them to a stimulus, and they could see differences in how they responded to memories. They combined the emotion fear with certain memories, and they behaved differently. But they also showed in these studies that they could actually reverse emotional association. They showed how to change the body's response to a stimulus based on manipulation. They did some type of light therapy, photon. They did different weird things to manipulate the brain. I'm not going to do that to you. On rats, it's a whole different thing, but these studies show that you can change how you respond to memories. And that's helpful to us because then we don't have to have an overwhelming body response, unwanted body responses that are meant to be to help us survive danger, but aren't appropriate at this day and age in our evolution of life. Another study is a study with cortisol. Now, there was a big landmark study showing how kids and their early upbringing impacted how they functioned in adulthood. And they took a number of children from disadvantaged backgrounds, either financial hardship, poverty, as well as just a very unstable family life. And they tracked these kids into adulthood, and they took the ones who actually became more successful, they did well in school, they went to college, and they had successful careers and created their own life stability as adults. But they still had cortisol levels that were high. Half of them, let me add that, half of them. The other half had healthier cortisol levels. So we know that we can change our future. We can change the physiology, and we don't have to let stress from our early life affect us in adult life. So for the other 50% who still had high cortisol, they still have a chance. They can do something to change that. But it's very promising knowing not everybody does that poorly with the cortisol side. And remember, cortisol is that stress hormone, the fight or flight hormone from the adrenal glands that spikes up that fight or flight response. Now, also, can we edit our memories? I believe we can. In fact, here's another example. Our memories usually get it wrong when it comes to recalling events. Say you were a witness at a car accident, or you saw a crime on a city street. Somebody was bullying somebody, stole a pocketbook, stole a backpack, and just a crime. And when we try to recall information, we don't get it right. We're inaccurate. Not on purpose. We're not purposely trying to lie and get somebody, thrown in jail. And we're not doing it for unscrupulous reasons. It's just the way our brain memorizes things, and I'm sure different factors affect us, especially emotions. If you're actually witnessing a crime, maybe you're part of that crime. We don't know, but we do know that the people who study witnesses and study how accurate witnesses are or are not, we know that our memories change things. That is good and bad. If you're trying to help somebody understand a criminal court case, that can hurt. It can hurt somebody's case. But we also know we can realize we don't have to rely on our memories for just to save our health. Just remember that. Our memories are not always accurate. Now that we have cameras in place, every public spot, every parking lot, supermarket, we know now that the camera records exactly what happens and our brain changes it. So our brains get it wrong. So our memories can be vague, and that can protect us. That can help us not overreact to certain stimuli. And we can use this to our advantage, meaning we don't have to take every memory and turn it into a little chip in our limbic system to process at a time when we need to recall how we survived it, how we faced danger, because sometimes it's overwhelming. So let's take these 3 examples and use it to our advantage to understand we can change our brain in a positive way. We're not stuck in a rut. We can help our memories not be so over-exaggerated. And we can neutralize certain memories and those emotions so that we don't have to have such a high reaction rate that adds damage to the body and causes just lots of problems to the immune system. So the clinicians that I work with and we study together and share our findings together, we know that 90% of the time, if you apply chiropractic and nutrition together, 90% of the people actually do well. They do not have these long-term problems with the emotion and memory and the whole nervous system overreacting, the sympathetic fight or flight. 90% of the time, it works very effectively. There's 10% of people who still have trouble getting out of uncooperative nervous system patterns where the nervous system is just overreacts, and then the immune system is just always feeling burdened, always feeling overworked, run down, and this will change the whole body function. So for those 10% of the people, we have the Brain First Always protocol, especially the part about talking to your brain. Remember the 3 doorways: move your brain, feed your brain, talk to the brain. And we combine them in a protocol to help the nervous system handle things as they're meant to handle. We want to give the nervous system enough rest and resilience. We want the nervous system to work properly, not overreacting. So I want you to dive into a better brain. If you have questions about this information, please contact me, and let's just get into a great brain program. And how else can you do it? Watch these videos. Put your comments in the comments section. Start a fun discussion. Let's get people talking about it. Like I said, we need everybody with a performing brain. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and click that bell icon so you do get the new videos when I release them. And become a brain snob. And oh, don't forget the orientation video. Watch that as well. And it's right on my blog, createpurpose.com. I want you to be a brain snob, but more importantly, I want you to be a positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.